All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where we got good news. Errol Spence Jr. Injury rumors that are out there have now been thoroughly debunked by information that has been released by the, believe it or not, this sounds so crazy to say, Anthony Joshua's camp. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where we are going to get a little bit of closure to some things that I think Errol Spence Jr. was referring to when he was saying, don't believe all this stuff people are saying, because some information has come out about what Errol Spence Jr. is doing in preparation for his next fight, and he ain't doing it if he's injured. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. We really do have very, very good boxing conversations over here. So join the party. We have a good time. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you for continuing to hang out with me on these videos and in the live streams. And if you're a supporter of the channel, whether you are a subscriber or not a subscriber, thank you to everyone that supports boxing conversations like this through the super thanks of videos like this. It really does help sponsor the video and allow the content to continue to get done. These are not the type of channels that are going to ever do 5 million views, 2-3 million views of video. So your sponsorships and your donations are greatly, greatly appreciated. Not required, but appreciated. And I always want to take that time to say thank you to everybody that does, because I know you don't have to, but thank you so much because you do. Now let's get into this. Errol Spence Jr. There was rumors out there, speculations that Errol Spence Jr. was injured, and that was the reason why Errol Spence Jr. didn't have his fight announced with Keith Thurman, and that, he very well may not be returning for a while. That apparently is not true because of what came out of the mouth of Eddie Hearn, who is the promoter for Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn, who went to visit Anthony Joshua in preparation for his fight that is coming up. I do believe it's on April 1st is the upcoming fight for Anthony Joshua. One that Derek James, trainer of the year in 2022, is working for the first time with Anthony Joshua on. So Eddie Hearn was at camp and was making comments about the differences between how Anthony Joshua is doing in Dallas, Texas versus him training in the UK. And he made the observation that, back in the UK where Anthony Joshua trains, there's a bunch of, there's a ton of people there, scientists, he said a bunch of scientists keeping track of, I guess, of his blood, his oxygen levels in his blood, and, the specific I can just imagine a big Ivan Drago from the Rocky scene versus what's going on with Derek James and Anthony Joshua there. And he said with Derek James, it's just work. And in fact, he said when he was there, Errol Spence Jr. was there, and Errol Spence Jr. he said he saw Errol Spence Jr. spar 11 rounds, and Errol Spence Jr. doesn't even have a fight yet. That according to Eddie Hearn, right? Now, my understanding from Steven Espinoza and Showtime and the big, and what they've been alluding to is that they are finalizing the fight for Errol Spence Jr., whatever that means. Because, man, sometimes now these finalizing a fight sure does take a long time. Show takes a long time, right? But regardless of it, it seemed to me that they are seriously implying that it is going to be Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman. And I think that's also the case because if you look at what's going on with the sanctioning bodies and the WBC ordering an interim championship fight between Yordenis Ugas and Mario Barrios, the IBF already having an interim guy in in Jaron Ennis and the WBA having a one belt rule with where the winner of where the regular champion, if Errol Spence Jr. moves up to 154 and stays there, because remember the fight with Keith Thurman is supposed to be at 154, where all of those belts immediately go to somebody else without there being a fight. Right. So wouldn't be a matter of, OK, we don't know who the champion is going to be if Errol doesn't come back. No, if Errol goes up there and says he's staying up there, those belts, they're immediately going to name champions and be able to run off unification fights or whatever else type of fights they have. And it seems like they're preparing for that. And I would think that they're preparing for that because Errol is in conversations to fight at 154 with Keith Thurman. But regardless, if he's sparring 11 rounds, if he's going 11 rounds of sparring, he's not going through 11 rounds of sparring if he's injured. Not a leg injury, not an elbow injury, unless somebody in the comment section want to come to me and tell me about how guys are out there sparring dang near full, almost championship, almost up to the championship level sparring, and they're injured with the possibility of a fight coming up. No, I think you're either way away from camp when you're getting some light sparring in, or you're in camp and you're sparring, but you're not like, okay, I'm injured, but let me go into the gym and spar. So hopefully all of that stuff can be dispelled. However, I'm not a great critic of Errol Spence Jr. or the PBC. Just got to tell you, there's more than enough people that are cornering the market on criticisms for every little thing that goes on at the PBC, or every little thing that goes on with Errol, or every little thing that goes on with Al Heyman or Floyd Mayweather Jr. But I will say, man, come on. Let's get this fight going on. I hope he hurry ups and gets into the ring. And I don't care who it is. Don't care if it's Keith Thurman. Don't care if it's, I would appreciate if it was Terrence Crawford. Don't care if it's Errol Spence Jr. Don't care if they pull out some third party I ain't never heard of just to get Errol Spence Jr. back in the ring. I know he says he doesn't like tune-ups, but look, man, as a boxing fan, it is and a fan of Errol Spence Jr.'s. Look, man, it is most definitely it gets old having it be such a long time in between fights. And I will say the same thing for Terrence Crawford. As somebody that appreciates Terrence Crawford, can't necessarily call myself a fan of Terrence Crawford because, hey, man, the man talked bad about me, so I'm not going to be a fan of yours. It's just what it is. It's nothing personal against him until he had something personal with me, right? But other than that, want to see him in the ring more often. Want to see Jaron Ennis in the ring more often. Can't say I really need to see Gervonta Davis in the ring more often because he's fighting very, very often. Same thing with a lot of fighters. Just want to see him in the ring more often. And it is most definitely good news that apparently it is not an injury that continues to hold him back, since Eddie Hearn says that he is currently in the midst of sparring. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.